Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. It's a real pleasure to be today with you. I want to congratulate the organizers of this event. Once more, the Korean cities are showing their leadership in the topic of building learning cities. And it's really a pleasure to learn more about the discussions that we'll have. And from my side, as the coordinator of the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities, we would be very pleased to present you the medium-term strategy of the network that was presented during the last international conference on learning cities that took place in December in Jubail, Saudi Arabia. So what I will do from my side will be to present briefly where we are in the network, what kind of directions we would like to take for the network, and what kind of support we would be expecting from the cities all over the world to establish and expand the strategy for the coming 5 years. So I will start briefly presenting you that the network founded in 2013 with the first international conference organized in Beijing, China, was research that tried to bring together different partners, 12 at that time, in order to show that lifelong learning could take place everywhere in different conditions. Size of cities doesn't matter, the size of the city doesn't matter, the knowledge of lifelong learning in the city doesn't matter, the GDP of the city. So today we have been expanding year by year, and we have more than 355 cities that are part of the network, distributed in 79 countries of the 5 UNESCO regions. We can say that these cities are covering around 360 million people where we can influence in promoting lifelong learning. Important also to say that we have been focusing during these more than 10 years in advancing SDG 4, related very much to inclusion and quality of education and the promotion of lifelong learning, and SDG 11, which is very much focused in the sustainability of cities. So just to move a little further, I would like to let you know that to establish and expanding the strategy, we are forming what is called the UNESCO Gnlc Academy. This new entity will be key to the achievement of the medium-term strategy with 3 main aims. First of all, to strengthen local capacity building. Number 2, to strengthen data and monitoring tools. And number 3, to have innovative partnership models. What do we mean with this? That these 3 elements, these 3 priorities will be around the concept of the Gnlc Academy. And they are very clear in the division. One of them is strengthening capacities. The other one will be very much focusing on improving data and monitoring in the implementation of learning cities. And the last one will be to strengthening more and more the multilateral collaborations. Let us zoom into each of these priorities. For the first one, we have 3 focus areas. The thematic cycles of the Gnlc, the targeted support in thematic areas, and the developing of a capacity building inventory. Let's go into each of them. For the thematic cycle of the Gnlc, we will be working every 2 years with new thematic cycles. As you know, in 2025, 2026, the Academy will be working very close in the topic of greening community education. Everything is going to be articulated around the result of the topic that we had during the International Conference on Learning Cities on green skills. So the topic will be in these 2 years around that, and doesn't mean that it's going to be the only topic, but that will be a priority. So for that, we already developed a set of modules that we will be implementing in different cities, and we will be developing a greening community guidance together with headquarters and a group of 400 partners that will be building together with us this guidance that is expected to be ready in May this year in order to start implementing that in the different cities of the network. Number 2, we will be also working with thematic areas, with expert groups, and with technical partnerships. This has been the case, but we will strengthen more to work closer with other networks, with other group of experts, including universities, in order to reinforce the learning groups of learning cities. We will be also developing a capacity building inventory, which will be very important because other networks are already developing a lot of materials. Cities all over the network are also developing and creating comprehensive materials that could be very useful for partners, for peer cities that can very much rely on these materials. For priority 2, I think it's very important to mention that we would like to improve the data monitoring and leadership in learning cities. And number 1, very important, we would like to update the key features of learning cities that were developed in 2013. And we would like also to develop the Gnlc monitoring platform. Number 2, we would like to enhance the city leadership of the network. For the first point, we have been very much relying on the experience of cities that have been redefined some key performance indicators aligned very much from the context of the city, but articulated or aligned with the key features of learning cities. And this will be important for cities to develop their implementation in an effective form. We have experience from cities, mainly in Korea, I would say, but also in Mexico, in France, in Denmark, in Argentina, that have been working on this developing of indicators. So the idea will be to put all the experiences together and to see which kind of indicators we need to be using according to the different realities also. So we will have a set of stage of indicators. The first stage for specific cities, the second stage for all the kind of realities and context, and probably a city will be in a process of considering different stages while they're advancing and moving in developing the concept of learning cities. We will also develop a monitoring platform that will be an interactive online platform featuring advanced data analytics and visualization tools for member cities. Will be built also in different languages. We will be also providing a capacity building and technical support for cities to collect data and to analyze data and to present this data to the population. I think this is important to reinforce the articulation with the citizens. We'll be also producing periodic surveys and progress reports showing the level of advance of the cities. Another important topic that it's related to this is that we would like to enhance more and more city leadership. And we would like to organize a major summit of selected member cities that will be established to facilitate knowledge exchange among mayors. As you know, mayors want to talk to mayors, and it's important to bring them on board for discussion on hot topics that are relevant for them. And then we can continue the discussions with second levels in the city of policymakers, but also other actors that could be contributing to the implementation of learning cities in the city. But this is the idea will be to invite, I don't know, 10 to 15 cities to a place to organize them a very intensive capacity building in order for them to start monitoring the city, for example, or discussing important topics that are relevant to this group of cities. Let's move to the last priority, which is strengthening multilateral collaboration. And I think that the last point is also related to that. On this priority, we have four focus areas, which are aligning members with strategic goals, focusing on learning cities in specific regions, promoting regions and sub-regional networks, and expanding the online learning space for collaboration. Let me zoom into each of the topics. We would like to align membership with strategic goals, and we would like to make a differentiation also of cities, because you cannot have the same strategies with a city that have very different territorial characteristics in terms of size, in terms of number of inhabitants. So we would like to have a division of large cities, medium size and small cities, and also learning territories. All of them are welcome to the network, but sometimes we need to differentiate the strategy very much based on the size. Number two, we will be also having a special focus. It's not that we are just working on that, but we'll have a special focus on Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, and also most small islands developing states. These are a priority for UNESCO, but of course the seats are very much jeopardized with climate issues, so it's important to try to support them and to bring them into the network so they can get the knowledge of other cities that are progressing in implementing lifelong learning, how they can benefit from that experiences. Number three, we will continue promoting the regional and sub-regional networks. This has been a big issue and advantage for the network. As you know, in some regions, there are already very well-established sub-networks that are articulated by different countries in the region, and they organize themselves also self-management. They organize webinars, conferences, they discuss the topics that are relevant to the regions. And the same that is happening at the regional level, it's also happening at the national level. There are many countries that have their national networks and they are working very strong among the cities. And we have good examples. I think the most relevant one is Korea, of course. But we have China, we have Thailand, we have France, we have Ireland, we have the United Kingdom, we have Colombia, we have Argentina, we have France. I mean, there have been quite a lot good experiences on that. And they are showing that they can focus more on their own needs. So I think we need just to keep on strengthening the regional networks, particularly in Africa. I think in Asia we are moving quite well. We need to strengthen still the process, and it's quite a rich region. So we need to be very much aware of the differences, but there's a lot of potential at the national level, sub-regional level, so probably we can establish a more regional network. Number 4, we will, on this basis, we will develop and expand the community of practice, which is a platform that will serve for dynamic online discussions where Gnlc members can get information, communicate among themselves. So I think this will be quite helpful. Let me just now move to an interesting topic that will be very useful for the discussion, and is that we cannot do this alone. As the Secretariat of the Gnlc, we are working very much with cities, and the only way to do things is together with cities. So for the Gnlc Academy, we're thinking in a structure that will allow us to maintain ourselves as the Secretariat, but we would like to have regional hubs formed by some 2 to 3 cities in each region that could really help us to implement the Academy. And then also to have national hubs that will be more at the national level, and then the cities themselves can contribute in many ways. Here, I would like to share some of the ways that the cities could contribute in order to strengthen the Academy. Number 1 is for building capacities. It will be important that the cities will think on funding the development on new self-guided modules, tools, guidelines, etc. Also, they can engage in technical partnership, collaborating with the Gnlc. Also, they can partnering on thematic cycles to co-host events, fund pilot projects, contribute to research initiatives. Also, they can provide expertise and sponsorship to share through workshops, or sponsor the hosting of a Gnlc Academy workshops for specific or from other regions. How to contribute to the monitoring and leadership in learning cities. This is also very important because I think you can support the key performance indicators development. Particularly, I very much believe that Korea can do that in order and contribute to the creation and implementation of updated key performance indicators that will be aligned with the key features of learning cities. Also, to enhance the global monitoring platform and invest in the development of this interactive platform to enable real-time data access and analysis. Another important one will be to host Mayors Forum sessions, what we call the Mayors Summit, or to coordinate reports and surveys that will be reporting on information on cities. For the last priority, I think it will be important for supporting regional networks and national networks to facilitate peer learning with African cities. You can be mentors of an African city or a seed city, these small islands. But also expanding the community of practice platform. We can initiate discussions among specific topics, could be by language, could be by region, etc. So I think there are plenty of ways that the cities, the country, the region can contribute in order to make the UNESCO Gnlc Academy a reality. So to achieve the 2030 goal, stakeholder support is really instrumental. And it's important to really strengthen our partnership with all the Gnlc members now. Thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to share with you these views, and we very much count on you. You have been always a very strong partner, probably one of the strongest partner for the Gnlc expansion. Wish you a great success in the meeting. I'm very much willing to see you soon. Thank you very much.